Hey, Shawn Clement here from the Richmond Hill Golf Learning Center. And today we continue to get deeper down into the rabbit hole, and we're going to make a nice update on the tilted portion of the swing, right? So you guys know by now that you do need a certain tilt in your golf swing to make it efficient, like skipping that stone or hammering a nail into the door frame. But we're not going to go at it with positioning. We really need to start feeling this properly. Now, you remember in one of the earlier videos, the essence of the swing is we have just like a stone at the end of a string here. I got my little yellow stone. Okay, so I'm twirling this at the end of a rubber band. So you notice it forms a wonderful arc. And if you look at how my arm is functioning, there's an up and down motion of the hand. Even when I go into very fast, it can't stay still. If my hand stays still and the center stays too still, then everything stops. So you're not getting a great twirl, but we do want a nice, we call it radius of gyration, right? So if we look at how the human body works now with the arm club unit, you got your arm club unit that's secure. The center of that arm club unit is right here, the center of the shoulders, but it's not like we have an owl's neck, right? It's not twirling around and underneath our heads with a ball bearing. That sits on top of the shoulders, right? So the shoulders sit on the rib cage sits on the pelvis through the spine, and then the pelvis sits on the hips. So the twirling action happens from the hips. So if we take the hips that are underneath the pelvis, you're going to see why we need this little tilt in the swing, because when you're twirling the arm club unit at high speeds towards your target, you want to feel that the center of this arm club unit, the center of the twirl, pardon me, is very steady, rock steady, okay? It's got a little bit of upward and downward motion provided from the knees, right, to really kick that twirling action into high gear, but it feels extremely braced against the forward side. I'll show you what I mean. If I take my posture and I bring my head on top of my front foot. Now, imagine this in a dynamic motion. If I twirl the arm club unit around that, there's nothing to hold me in position, okay? So, also, the angle of the twirl, right? So if you look at it from this angle here, the angle of that twirl is seriously across the line. If I bring that head back into position and I provide that twirl, you can see now that the ball is going in a much straighter direction, and the contact with the ball is way better as well. So, again, from your angle here, if I twirl this parallel to the mat, and I just change the angle of my arm, so the elbow would be considered the tailbone, my hand would be considered the center of the shoulders, the upper spine. So I move that. Now notice how it's twirling in this direction. And move it back. Move it this way. Now it's twirling in that direction. So, back to the front angle. If you overdo the tilt, I know many of you have been overdoing that tilt, you'll understand it and feel it in two different ways. Number one, you overdo the tilt, you have just gotten yourself away from that braced position on the front side. And now also, you'll tend to swing the club. Doesn't matter if you try to swing the club back there, everything will tend to move out and to the right. You'll also tend to hit the ground, get scrapey, and then have very thin shots with the contact. So now we take that and brace it against the forward side. So you notice now in a dynamic sense, you can see that my tilt is very nicely braced against my forward side. So when I perform that twirl, that nice rhythmic twirl, you can see everything is beautifully in position. Contact is super crisp and solid and compressive. So I am able to really attack through the ball and towards the target with lots of authority, okay? So we're thinking dynamically when it comes to the tilt. You don't want a position that's going to allow the twirl to fall off its hinges. You don't want a position where the twirl is going to happen and pull you off balance. This is the only position for you to twirl to the finish. Notice now my finish, how solid it is. Everything is nicely stacked through the left side. And this is going to cause a much higher finish than those of you who tend to have a tilt that changes throughout the swing. So just feel that steadiness and feel how it's going to direct the arm club unit going into the finish position. That finish is going to seem much, much higher. And as you see my swing evolve through the last 3 years, you notice my swing's finish is getting higher and higher as I get better at maintaining that tilt back and through. Because I learn every day too, man. I love this stuff. So, hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next segment.